Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'd like to talk about how to speed up your website, less than 2 seconds, improve your SEO, and basically trying to improve your SEO rank and also speed up your website. User-friendly, mobile-friendly website that you can create on this. So I just made this website quickly to discuss on there are a number of ways to do it. So now there is a test sites, why website slow, why speed matters, SEO rank higher than million second faster, speed up with the code, and how to set up the speed site on the code. Important to make mobile friendly site, Adsense side effect, positive and negative impact. Video, I'm going to create a video right now, so it will improve your website and SEO rank. Recommended plugins and tricks and tips for making faster for there are a number of ways to do it. So hopefully you like it, and please subscribe to my channel. Let's get started.
This blog is pretty decent. It's very clean and easy to see. Fonts are menu is mobile friendly and stuff like that. So first, let's talk about how to speed up the site properly and with the code or without code, including some plugins and some trick and tips. Basically, we have there are a number of websites you can use. GTMetrix. GTMextrix is quite decent compared to other pingdom.com or other website. So there are it tells you which area is slowing down. So normally this is 318 requests on this. This one is a different website, Slack me space 3 seconds 6 million seconds, and also total page is 683 KB, 18 requests. This is not bad. Let's try on the Google. Okay. So featuring a site, then first what's gonna happen is this site is look for way to download the site. So they reach out to the site and receive and waiting. Then also contact the DNS internet host provider. There are a lot of minimize redirect. Probably this is advertising for the website. If you have Adsense, usually it happens to redirects. They also landing page redirect on different sites, and also their request size on the web page is pretty big. Then scale images can be reduced on the features, and also leverage the cache and features, be able to cache on a browser. So 10 second and 2 meg and 529 requests. So the website GTMetrix will contact to the site, has number of the requests sent from this browser to wherever the website redirect are, and some of the script, JS script or JavaScript are actually executed, send out. to the destinations. Okay, so this is quite a lot of the request, and also large page size, and also free loaded time 10 seconds. Acceptable ones usually takes like less than 2.5 millisecond. So for example, this let me show you other ones. My website alohajblog.com is 2.1, and I have a page sizes 1 second and 30 millisecond, 50 requests. So obviously quite good, decent website versus Yahoo website. So number of factors how I improve the site. Basically there are a lot of ways to do it. First, I can talk about average speed up to 2 seconds on mobile is the best speed. Talk about, let's say, talk about the, I did this is like earlier, I tested it 5 seconds, and so the another site is called thinkwithgoogle.com. This one is pretty much talk about the speed. They also give you the tips and get more recommendations and stuff like that. Based on that, it says slow. So I did increase it to pretty fast, 2 seconds. So it's really decent. So what I mean by is basically this will be, I will test it. I'll test it on the Yahoo. So the speed is different from most of cases on the actual speed on here and actual speed on GTMetrix. There are a number of factors there. I'm probably checking a lot of different way, but I tend to find that is Yahoo on this site is pretty fast, 1.9 seconds. But if you look at the GTMetrix, is quite slow because GTMetrix will check the different way. Okay, so 1.9 seconds is pretty fast, which is on United Kingdom. You can change the different countries if you want. Less than 2 seconds is acceptable, which is fast enough and average, and you can improve your SEO rank on Google search. If you have a slow website, has a lot of pictures, they're not optimized, then your website will not be ranked higher. So let's talk about the some main slow, basically talk about the main slowness where those are coming from. The first one is a large picture. Let's see if I have some example of this Yahoo. So let's look at the pitfall. There are a lot of say pictures here. Maybe it's okay. So I can check by image. Maybe these image. So if you click on it, it has this image. It looks like a dot. But anyway, these are the image that basically you can identify the image. Then also all HTML, CSS, JS, fonts, images. So basically, if you work on the images and fonts, and also CSS, JS, you could improve your performance. So, and also consider the format picture of JPEG versus PNG. JPEG is faster than PNG. Usually PNG is used for photographers. Picture perfect, so has more scale of the picture inside of it. So when you look at this, my alohajblog.com, there are inside of the first line has this DNS lookup and connecting to the host, then sending to the host, then also waiting from host, then receiving from host, and has this DOM loaded, and DOM is basically object class is render all the information sent back to the browser. So, and basically something you could improve in this is basically DNS lookup. If you have a host, pretty much any host provider, as long as you have a DNS server is fast enough to look up, then basically looking up your domain name to IP address. So its server has to be resolve that faster. DNS lookup is many of DNS lookup. There are a number of ways to check this. For example, DNS check my DNS server. Okay. So the DNS server is everywhere pretty much, and also the company Cloudflare is one of the best out there. There is a list of DNS that you can use, and which one is faster and stuff will be shown on it. So let's look at if you click on this, server will contact all this DNS everywhere pretty much. Mainly it has a lot of different DNS. Some of them are in red. Let's look at the other. Okay. CN record. Okay. Now red. MX. Okay. NS. Okay. So you can tell where those DNS server located. Then cloudflare.com. So actually my host server is bluehost, bluehost.com. Then Flare free DNS lookup, number of benefits. In my case, it's about versus Bluehost DNS and Cloudflare DNS 16% faster. So DNS lookup is basically that's where I'm looking at. So you can see the domain is active. Then I did set up the DNS server lookup on the Cloudflare. So it's basically has this traffic. It shows the number of the web traffic requests by countries, and it tells the traffic country regions will be show here number of requests by countries, and also the number of the requests received and sent in 24 hours. I don't have more than 24 hours information. The bandwidth is basically tells is how much traffic sent and received. And also unique visitors based on the website visitors are how many of total unique visitors within 24 hours. So let's look the DNS. So it has this DNS informations where my destinations of the IP address and host server. Then the Cloudflare has this way to protect your real IP address, resolve the DNS information. Basically what you need to do is how to configure is Cloudflare name servers. You can just put under bluehost setting. Okay, so I'll get to that later, where to configure. So make sure all AA, CNN record point to proxy records are proxy, avoid exposing your IP address. So AA, then also I don't have a AAA, but CNN is there, it's under proxy, so it should be good. I use the SSL TLS encryptions for. I have a self-signed certificate on the server. Then also the traffic server over TLS has this number of way to contact, but my website is only contact on TLS, so won't be able to contact on non-SSL. And other information here is to set up the always HTTPS, and also minimum of TLS version 1.0 or 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Backward compatible, so basically based on TLS 1.0 will be supported until TLS 1.3. Usually the TLS 1.0 is not the secure one. You can set to higher, but the browser doesn't support the TLS 1.3. Then if you set a 1.3, you're gonna have some problem with some of the browsers. So I set it to TLS 1.0. Yeah, so there are a number of ways to secure the website, but I think TLS 1.0 is enough for most of website unless using different method. So I didn't really configure the firewall. Talk about the access. Yeah, so I don't have VPN. So speed is based on without Cloudflare, and with the Cloudflare DNS is 60% faster. I guess you can upgrade load time for pages, including image, mobile devices, so network connection, upgrade to Pro. You can upgrade it Pro and test it, but my website is pretty fast enough. Improved the website already, so the other here is no need to consider. Most rural network is pretty much you need to care. Yeah, that's it. So Cloudflare is one of the way to improve your website. Even though millisecond, it does matter when you wanted to shrink So let's talk about these images. For example, one here, post, and right here, and this right here, then widget on the right side, and I have a menu here. Now, next talk about, let's see, yeah, pictures. So how to improve those pictures? First, I log in to WP admin. Okay, so WP admin has there are a lot of ways to do it. First, I don't recommend to install a bunch of plugins. So only main plugin I recommend is something that you use for. Now, you can test it, but I recommend some of the plugins are useful and no effect on your website. I tested on it, look at the code and stuff, so most likely it's not affected, and also review is good. I used so those are well tested by users, so most likely don't have the plugins that like some malware or some redirect to those are free, so redirect to the developer or something. So I use add to any shared button, so it will show this. Let's see. I have another. Okay, so this is I changed the homepage. So so I made it to lazy page. Okay. I just want to show you that way. So this mobile is changed a little bit different. So anyway, let's look at this. So I changed the way, let's say if I click on it, it has a lot of picture will show up right here. So normally post page, I really don't care about the way the picture is loaded, but you can at least minimize the fact that when you load his feature image will be, you need to scale it to smaller. So when displaying the first page, your website, yeah, this part will be scaled. So if you have a too big pictures, you can scale it at least original dimension 200 by 200, but actually minimum of 200. So I change it to 200, will change the ratio right here. So scale it, then save it, and like that. So for example, maybe I show you the other picture, this photo. So this has this large, so I can scale it like that if you want. So you just want to do it all of these on the home page. So on the home page, and do that on this logo as well. Then also the fonts are, you should use the fonts are consistent fonts as much as you can, so that you can lower the fonts downloads. Basically, that could be less impact, but some cases millisecond does matter. So most of themes are available to adjust the fonts. For example, the number of fonts are here. Okay. So I set player fair display, and right here, so all of fonts are consistent on my homepage. Now you can use the CSS using different fonts, but I recommend to just use the consistent fonts all over the places. But you know, it doesn't really website. Some cases fonts are standards better than unique and for end users. So okay, so let's check the other pages here. Okay, so I have this Adsense. Okay, so usually when you run the actual page, there are redirect. So so minify JavaScript or leverage browser defer JavaScript. There are a lot of redirects going on, but in this case I don't see many redirects. But if you run it, let's say so you don't really see same consistent speed, because if you have AdSense, it changes the AdSense informations and redirect. So so you might need to look into what's actually slowing down. Anyway, I'm going back to, yeah, it's still okay. It doesn't have any pitfall that, still same, but a little bit slower, differ. So here, Adsense here. So this is the only one. The rest of stuff is my JS stuff. Oh, this one also, leverage browser is Adsense. So if you start to see a lot of them, second way to improve is Adsense, decrease the Adsense on a home page. If you have a lot of Adsense for your home page and the user wouldn't like it, so maybe one or two is enough. One is on the bottom. So I was talking about the this lazy mode. I use it. It's quite good, and async JavaScript will help you a lot. I'll go look into it. But optimize, there are some conflict on different plugins, so I disable it. And contact form and a classic editor, I can edit it in the post page where you can customize a lot of things. So I had contact 7, contact form 7 skills. I have this YouTube website, so I use that. I don't use it for homepage. It really doesn't impact on the homepage. I used to have these to do the Adsense and Google Analytics, but actually you don't need these to nowadays you don't need these, so I plan to delete it. SEO only use Yoast SEO is enough. Basically when you write a post, it will tell you readable, friendly, some of the tag needs to be included. Then also leverage browsing. The one that has warning, I enable this one. After enable, you don't need to do anything. Now reverse browsing caching. You can use some code in the HTTP access file. Then I use real simple SSL and Smush for picture to shrink some of it, and total cache, wood balloon, features for some way to code. WordFence Security is for security. Popular post is very popular for plugin, and fastest cache. Then also comment and use SEO. So mainly I think recommend one is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9. So I think about 9 or 10 is enough for your website. Probably less if you don't use some of the AddQucikTag and stuff like that. So AddQucikTag is more advanced user. Okay. So I talk about the plugin, recommended plugin, improve your website, W fastest cache, auto optimize, Smush. You resize the picture. Usually future picture will be scaled by small size as possible, usually 200 by 200 lower recommended, usually 200 by 200 lower recommended feature picture with a plugin. And for SEO improvement, improve your productivity, add quick tag and pretty links. Then also improve your contact with your viewers is contact form. If they have a question about it, they can submit your question through the contact form. SEO rank is enabled for a single SSL can. Cloudflare can do that with the SSL. That's pretty good enough. And WordFence Security is protect the hackers. It will not slow you down when you enable it. Just to make sure some of the words sent will be, let's say, I show you. So pretty much default setting except when you do scan. You can start scan on, go to manage scan. Then custom scan. To make sure to use lower resource. So basically it will not impact on the server. Okay, so let's talk about the widget. Let's say, so this page, the post one, like when you write, basically it's useful for add quick, basically the plugin called AddQucikTag. You can create this tag when you write the post, then paste it. I'm go over some of the plugin later, more details, but I think I'll just talk about only something that you can improve your website speed and performance. So next one, I'm talking about this browser come with this performance lighthouse. So let's say okay. Okay, so let's check the lighthouse. Go to more tools and developer tools, and it shows this is how I see on the mobile. Okay, so all I want is to show this in the mobile, on whatever the message should be. So mobile page, I really don't like the way it displays, so I'll change it lazy load. So we can just check it out and see how the performance is. So this will stretches the actual the page where how it's displayed. What I mean by is basically talking about the performance and accessibility and best practice SEO. It tells a lot of detail of it. Performance 70% is pretty decent for homepage. Then it has this reconnect required regions. Some of the regions are connected, redirected, and it tells you all these details. So I was talking about the fonts are actually loaded a little bit slower. So you have a consistent homepage, it would be great. But I think it's manageable. My site is about 2 seconds, and there are some of the minimize the main thread work. There are a lot of information about it. So based on the information, that's great. That's something I could handle. So let's do some changes. So let's say I was talking about the WP fastest cache. So I will reduce some of the first you need to enable the cache. Then I test some of the things here. The create cache all of your site automatically. Preload it. Okay. That's not default, but I don't think you need it. Also login, user mobile, don't so only parts that minify HTML, it will definitely decrease size of page. And minify CSS, decrease the size of CSS files. And combine CSS, reduce HTTP requests through the combined CSS files. And reduce HTTP requests through the combined JS files. And reduce size of files from your computer, gzip. Gzip often happens to lots of host server. Bluehost can compress the file size, so you need to enable it yourself. Just contact the host server and a way to compress your files on your server. And browser caching, reduce page load time for repeated visitors. So it will cache to your browser, so it will be faster. Okay, next one is total cache. How about another plugin called this total cache? And general settings, all you need to do is page cache enable, minify will enable, the database cache enable, browser cache enable, the rest of things. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention, after set up your CDN, you can connect it to it. Basically, you need to generate the API under your account, then log in your username and password. Password is API code. So I go back to performance. So page cache will be enabled. All these are basically default one. Minify will be set as a default one, except this JS will be deferred. But if you block some of the before head, after body as a default one blocking, then you're gonna have a problem with your first page where some of the photo is not displayed. So you can adjust based on your setting, but I just put it as a default. The database cache and all these are other stuff is pretty much default ones. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Smush is basically resize all your photo when you upload it, or even some of the, it will optimize some of the photos. So I did both Smush now and Smush all your content of the photos. Then image sizes and generate multiple thumbnails for each images. So it has some of the selections of these, each of the files that you can use for your feature image. But I don't really use these thumbnails. I think it's useless on these features because you can just go into your page and change it when you create a post. Scale it yourself is maybe better. Automate compression, it will automate all the images when you upload it. So uploaded ones you have to bulk Smush now to actually resize some of the photos so you can have less contents on your host server, unless you have some limit. So it will detect some of the resize, but it will not resize automatically. Basically it just tells you which size needs to be resized and stuff like that. So these are default ones that I really don't need to set, except these lazy load. So homepage, when you load it, some photos is not on the screen, it doesn't show up the pictures one. As long as the page is show up on mobile, it will load the photos, so it doesn't impact when first time it load in. It takes a long time to load all the files and images. I didn't really set up the CDN here because really don't need to. Pretty much Cloudflare will take care of it. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So let's talk about little advance on some of the rendering, like expire files and pictures that needs to be adjusted. Okay, so you will need to go to your host server. Go to host server myself here. Alright, so log in. Okay, so it has a lot of other ones. So host page. First, I'll talk about these features on this Bluehost that has a lot of good features for very minimum service. Let's see. So it has this optimized website. Okay, you can compress all your contents here. So this is a good part that maybe wanted to do that. Let's talk about the how to add the DNS from Cloudflare DNS. So I changed it yesterday. Took about a few hours. So you just need to enter the DNS info. Then it will just sync all your DNS. So I have a DNS to DNS here. Just edit and add it. Okay. So that that's pretty much it for DNS part. Think I don't like the home page, so how will be change on the home page speed. So I have a static which have a lazy low page. So usually use the latest post. Then I'll open the jblog.com. Some cases your page is cached, so it will previously, it didn't cache in this case, so this is a page I have earlier. Okay, so let's look at the page where this, when you use PC, look like this. When tablet using, look like that. Okay, looks good, right? And using more, best one. Okay, so let's look at this actual performance after I changed it. Okay, so earlier is 2.1, that's the best. Now you can compress this page size more, but like less than 1 meg is better. But my website is pretty fast enough for it, so I don't want to touch, the size to. Okay, so let's see how make difference. Log.com. Okay, so it's not too bad for the page where you're looking at. Okay, so like you can see 2 second 50. It's not too bad. So let's look at the actual Adsense that I configure. So Adsense. So Adsense, basically, I just recently configured, so it's not many Adsense running, but still earn something. Overview, there is no Adsense turn on, but actually I did add it by unit. All these are by unit, global. Yeah, so basically I did low page and also widget, and a home page. So what I did was just this kind of page where activated. Don't want to let the automize your let's see, yeah, this kind of. So just make sure by site auto ads disable, but you just want to add the ad unit, then like that. Yeah. So that's all you need to do pretty much. Let's see, other page here. So let's look at the actual performance will be. Okay, I have a different page here. I just load it. And just check it out, how performance will be versus lazy load. Okay. Could have something weird going on, but hopefully this will be about 70% performance enough. Sometimes you don't want to care about the score as much. It's more of the speed and how the stuff is loading. Then also requests. So these are some of the pictures. See that? JPEG ping. Okay. Let's open. So I just wanted to explain about this picture PNG. The PNG is not, I don't want to use the PNG for your website. This content JPG. So let's look at this way to ping to JPEG, then ping to, yeah. So this page where you can convert, so you can just put it there. Okay. So I just upload it and convert it. Have a lot of them that I have all the pictures that convert. Okay, so I have this picture that made it. So first I download this ping, then to convert it JPEG. Then I just go here. Okay. So this is the actual feature that you wanted to decrease. So when you click on it, so if you look at this PNG, okay, so I have this different one here is JPEG, so I change it and scale it to 200, so I 200 scale, then okay, then add it here. Okay, so much better. Not much difference on website. I just post it. See if I can update. Then I'll do the other one. Just look at the performance. Let's see. Another one, three of these. Oh, maybe this only it. Okay. So I have another one here. Okay, then just edit. And then just change it. Change it to this. Yeah, JPEG. Okay. Okay, done. Then let's just update. Then just rerun the test again. So refresh it. They will be the JPEG, I think. Oh no, this one. Oh, this. Usually, anyway, these must be not cached. So what I do is we'll just do delete, clear cache, clear it, clear this, and okay. So then I reload it. See. And see how. Okay, so picture change. So let's look at this performance. See how the performance improved. Okay, 63 versus. Anyway, so important part is what's claiming, right? So yeah, I don't see some images info. So basically, some of these are redirect. But nothing I can do. Some of the things like fonts, Adsense, so it works. Yeah. So there are a lot of ways to improve it. I think this is basic ones that you need to improve at least. Minimize your website less than at least 2 seconds or less. So that will improve your SEO, improve your performance, better friendly website, and people love to visit your website. Less than 1 second improve end user login, so they tend to log in longer. If it's too slow, they'll go goodbye and say adios. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I talk about how to improve your website, and hope you like it.